In this video, I'm going to share with you how you communicate back to your team after they've shared with you several points of feedback on what's working well and what isn't, so that they can continue to trust you and look to you as a leader who will take action on their feedback. If you are new to me, my name is Mary Grace Gardner. I'm a leadership coach who has served as the advisor to executives in multi-billion-dollar companies, showing them how to create high-performing teams. Now, if you're in a situation where you've received a bunch of feedback from your team, now this could be through a listening tour, it could be through structured surveys or an annual survey where you collect their feedback. It's really important to make sure that, yes, you analyze the information, but then you do something with it and communicate back to those who gave you that feedback on what it is you plan to do with it. And the most effective way of doing that is speaking directly to the people and sharing a summary of your learnings. Now, this isn't intended to be a commitment of a laundry list of things that you're going to do, especially when you might not be the expert or the best person positioned to actually solve the problems that get escalated to you through these listening tours or through surveys. The intention is for you to share what you learned and then make sure that you either delegate or route next steps to the appropriate places. So let me share with you how to do that. So first off, you want to make sure you clarify, who do you meet with to share this information back? So if you are a leader who has managers who report to you, it's helpful first to meet with your management team to let them know what it is that you learned, what it is that you heard. And specifically, if you got feedback that might be hard to hear in a public setting, you might want to share that feedback more directly with that specific manager. So then you can work with them on next steps regarding what to do with that feedback. But first, giving your managers a heads up on what it is that you learned, what are some trends that you saw, is helpful for a couple of reasons. One, they first have a heads up to understand what their staff was sharing. And then they can also, too, give you some additional feedback regarding what might be the truth from their perspective. They might have a different point of view based upon their experiences. They might be able to share with you what are some things that are underway to address those issues that might have been already raised, or they might be able to give you some additional historical context regarding what worked or what didn't. But making sure to give that team, that leadership team you lead, or that management team that you lead, a heads up is really helpful. The next is being able to share, if it makes sense in your particular corporate setting, being able to share with the department what your learnings were. Now, this could be in a regularly scheduled quarterly all-hands meeting, a special session, but being able to share with the group transparently what it is that you learned, but doing so in a way that doesn't throw anybody under the bus. That's the worst thing you can do, is share specific feedback that especially is constructive or negative, that can be routed to a specific person, because it just takes one instance for people to feel like they might be at risk for causing trouble if they tell you something. So you want to make sure that you are respectful of that trust and that you protect the people who were open and honest in giving you feedback. Now, when you communicate what you learned, I want you to focus on three things. One, celebrating what's working well. So you just got all this feedback from people and they shared with you what they were proud about regarding their job. They might have celebrated other people in the department. Use that time to have a positive experience and share it with everybody, all that is working well. That is good for them, good for you. And oftentimes we skip over what's working well to focus on what's not working well. And especially if you're new to the team, it can set a really good tone that you're recognizing the good that's happening. The second, now, this is the part that's hardest, is identifying what are those opportunities for improvement and sharing with people the key themes that you saw, some trends you might have noticed, some synergies or friction points. But sharing thematically, what are you seeing? Are you seeing communication issues? Are you seeing people not understanding each other's roles? Is there a roles and responsibility issue? Is there a conflict of accountability? There might be themes that you're seeing across, and it's important that you don't blame anyone in particular, that you point to systems not being set up that allow for people to be successful or processes not being defined, because usually it's that. I like to believe employees don't go to work every day believing that they are going to cause trouble on purpose, that they are there to do bad work. I think everybody comes to work trying to do their best. And so making sure that as you're sharing your learnings and your findings, you're not putting anybody in a bad light, but you're using it as a learning opportunity. but making sure that you're highlighting what are those opportunities for improvement and sharing with folks what trends you're seeing can be helpful so that people can understand multiple perspectives within the company. And the third thing that's important to share is what are some of the solutions people have proposed, especially if you heard multiple people reporting the same solution they wish existed. That can show people the new ideas that are coming up, potential solutions people are identifying, ways people can collaborate. But identifying with folks and sharing with them what you're seeing are things that might be things that can be easily fixed, things that might require a little more effort, and things that might be harder to do but might be worth the time. Now, as you're sharing this, what's important to do is make sure you're not framing it in a way where you are trying to be the hero and solve everything, because it's not appropriate for you to be in that role. You don't have the expertise. You're not the subject matter expert to solve all these problems. But what your role is to do is to empower other groups and teams so that they can invest the time, the energy, the resources, possibly the funding to solve problems if it's the appropriate investment, which leads me to the most important point, which is this. These feedback sessions are not intended to pile a bunch of work on people because they're already busy. They might feel like, great, here's this leader giving us 100 other tasks when we have all the other goals to focus on. That's why it's so important to be deliberate and structured in how you share this feedback with folks, and know that things are not going to be fixed right away. Let them know that the intention is for you to share this information and have it incorporated into your strategy. So if you are a leader who has individual contributors who report to you, it might be you directly working with that team to identify which are the most important things to solve together and what's worth our energy and resources now or next quarter or a year from now to solve. Or if you're the leader of managers, making sure that you delegate to those managers so that they can further investigate what those problems are, what are those potential solutions, and they can work with those teams to reprioritize if necessary and appropriate. Now, making sure that you're getting the communication from folks and also returning the communication to folks to show them how you're closing that loop is important. Your role as a leader is to uncover those trends, uncover those points of synergy, create the environment where people can fix those solutions, and create structures of accountability so that once employees are giving you the feedback, you can have sessions with your management team to hear how it's going. Are they addressing it? Are they feeling like this is a high priority or not? If not, why not? And has it been communicated with staff? Now, if you have gone through this exercise, now you have gone through a situation where you have a great orientation of the current state, you have created great communication with your team, you've created trust with your group. Now it's important to focus on what's the operating system that you're going to build in order to create your goals, oversee performance, and make sure that your high-performing team is running well. In the next video, we're going to dive right into that. I'll see you there.